Hey there friends, just putting the GoPro on the roof. We're gonna try for the upper trailhead for Mount Bailey. Guidebook says you need high clearance. My car has high clearance attitude, so don't know if we'll actually make it up to the upper trailhead, but nothing lost. If we don't, we'll turn around and head down to the lower trailhead. Beautiful night up here. It's cooled down. It was 90 when I got on the road. It's about 76 right now. Some potential thunderclouds off, so I'm hoping that we have a thundercloud free. It's supposed to rain tomorrow evening, but not tonight. Well, I think I took a wrong turn in getting to the upper trailhead here. What's fun is I came across this cabin, and as a teenager in Boy Scouts in high school, we used to cross-country ski or snowshoe into this for long weekends, and the snow would be up at least to the top of the first level. You'd either dig down to the door or you'd take this ladder up to the doors at the higher levels. Remember camping up in the highest level, and then we would bring our snow shovels and build snow caves and build tunnels all through the snow over the long weekend. And I remember being up top and it was this full moon and the stars were just gorgeous even with a full moon, and then we were using candles to light our snow tunnels, and so from above you would just see the glow. So this is really a fun little misdirection. Oh, one mosquito, but really a fun wrong turn. Okay, so that was trying to get a little too adventurous. I'm glad I turned around when I did. Ruts were getting deep, trail was getting narrower. I was worried about high centering, even backing down it. I had two wheels in the air at some point. So it was a great road all the way into the Forest Service cabin. Then I took this spur thinking maybe I'd gone the wrong way, and it got rugged really quickly. It also makes me think I've been thinking about getting a big pickup truck so I can put a camper on the back, and a bigger rig and a taller rig would not be happy coming through here. It just means I need two pickup trucks, a big one with a camper and a small one with a pop-up camper or a tent. All right, we're back to gravel. So new plan, which was always plan B and what I had a hunch might happen. We are headed back down to the lower trailhead. That adds a couple miles round trip, and I think an added 800 feet of elevation. Made it to the lower trailhead here. A little bit of an adventure. But I'll show you the parking lot here. As the guidebook says, it is dusty, but beautiful. It just smells of pine forest and kind of that high Eastern Oregon deserty smell, even though it's not the desert, but it's that high pine forest smell, and love it. Mosquitoes aren't too bad, although there are two in the car already. And it's going to be a good night. Here is the lower parking lot. Made it with light in the sky still. Happy about that. The start of the trailhead is just right over there. You can kind of see the sign. And it's just a mile or so back to paved road down that way. Good morning from the Mount Bailey Trail. Camped in the parking lot again last night. Had some neighbors in from Bend, or a son from Bend and a father in from Michigan. Woke up early today, decided I didn't want to climb the mountain that early. So went back to bed. It's now a little bit after 8, and I actually feel like I want to climb a mountain. So it was wise to go back to sleep for another 2 hours. Hit the 1 mile mark, just about 20 minutes in. Just about 500 feet of elevation gain in the first mile. It's been gaining just steady. A few level spots, but otherwise just about the same grade. Mosquitoes are so-so. They're not swarming me like they were on Thielsen, but there are enough that every minute or two I have to knock a couple off. First decent view of Diamond Lake with Mount Thielsen across the way. Hit the 2 mile mark, 834 feet of elevation gain. At the 1.5 mile mark, the trail levels off and it's been mostly flat with very gentle up and maybe a couple dozen feet of down on it. But it's been nice to have a spot to catch my breath. The mosquitoes have gotten worse here, and I swear these must be hybrid mosquitoes because they fly faster than the ones I can normally out hike. So we'll see how many mosquito bites I have by the end of the hike. Hit the 3 mile mark. You can hear the watch beep right there. Decided not to go out to the viewpoint on the way up. 1, for mosquitoes. 2, I wanted to spend as much time in the shade and do as much of the climbing as early in the day as possible. And 3, to keep as much juice in my legs for the uphill. So if we're feeling it, we'll stop on the way back down. Lots of butterflies flooding around here. That's fun. 3.5 mile mark. See the peak up there, as well as from this angle, a somewhat dark cloud. That could just be my sunglasses, hopefully. Hit the 4 mile mark. 2,100 feet of elevation gain, almost exactly. Which means we've got about 1,000 feet or a little more to get to the summit. We are 4.3 miles in, about 2,400 feet of elevation, so about 700 feet more to go in under a mile. Decided I would stop and fuel up here. Swarms of orange butterflies, just zooming all around. 4.6 miles in, skirting the edge of a crater here. Lots of butterflies everywhere. That puts us about a half mile from the summit, I believe. We've got the summit, or the false summit, up ahead. We get to work our way along that spine of rock. I see at least one person coming down. I've been passed by 3 folks, a fellow from Ashland and 2 other guys. So I see them coming down. Way along the ridgeline now. Diamond Lake down below, Mount Thielsen out that way. I'm really glad I persevered and continued on up here, even though at times I was going 10, 20 feet, then pausing, 10, 20 feet, then pausing. But I want to get back in shape. There was a time when doing this was easy, and I'd like to get back to that. Don't think it'll be in 2025, but we'll lay a lot of the groundwork for it this year so that 2026 could be a good year for summits and distance. Hello from the summit of Mount Bailey. Made it up. There were some moments there where I was questioning it. The last bit is pretty loose and a little bit of a scramble at one point. Not bad though, but I was just tired. Very happy to be up here. I think I say that every time I do a video, but it's true. I'm happy to be up here and just taking in these views. Just ate a bag of kettle chips, dill chips that I packed up. Those taste really good. Now we're gonna go healthy and eat an apple, but the salt was very welcome at the moment. I'll give you some stats here in a little bit. I'm gonna hang out for a smidgen, take it all in and rest, but then I am gonna head back down. Crater Lake, Diamond Lake in Thielsen. You can see Klamath Lake over the way. Little Cowhorn Mountain, I believe. Three Sisters in the distance. I think that's Diamond Peak. Not a bad day for a summit. Really glad I made it up here. I think that's Mount McLaughlin right down there. Going much faster on the way down. Surprise, surprise. Nice and steep here and slippery, so I'm not going to film beyond this point until I'm down where there's better footing. Fun window here. Out to Diamond Lake in Thielsen. Coming back to the crater here. I'm gonna have way too much footage of Diamond Lake in Thielsen because it's just so pretty. I think I like going down better than up. Not just because it's easier on the legs, it's more of a view. I'm down about 2 miles from the summit. Just heard my first rumble of thunder. There was a couple headed up who said they had heard thunder. They were hoping to see it lightning striking Mount Thielsen from the top of Bailey. To be honest, I would not want to be on top of Bailey if lightning is striking Thielsen. That is too close. Here we are back at the upper trailhead. See the road come in that I was not able to make it up in my rig. And then if you go to the left there, it takes you out to the viewpoint. My legs are tired enough and I am desirous of getting the last 2+ miles down the car to get to an outhouse. And I think we got some pretty good views from the top. So, not gonna go out to the viewpoint. Just gonna carry on. Home stretch. Oh, made it back to the trailhead. I am tired. Next time, remind me to park my car closer. Tag.